Welcome, YouTubers, fellow preppers, and survivalists. Well, we're getting ready for the hurricane, and I find it ironic that, my so-called friends that make fun of me for living in a bunker, well, now they're calling me saying, bro, can I come stay in your bunker with you? That's funny. You gonna make fun of me because I live in a bunker? Which the hurricane ain't gonna do nothing to this place. I got it tied down real good. Poured a concrete footer all the way around it. Laid concrete block all the way around it. Put rebar, poured concrete all the way down the blocks. Then I put a second layer of concrete block all the way around it, and then poured it full of gravel, because it seems like that gravel stops incoming pretty good. And now that they've been giving away free sandbags, not that I needed them, I went ahead and got me all a bunch of them free sandbags full of sand and put that around the second layer of concrete block. And on the inside of the bunker, most of it, I got little spots I got to fill, but most of it has got pretty thick metal sheets. So this place is metal sheeted in. So it's not going nowhere. And I don't have no windows. Now I can see out. I got it set to where I can see out. I got it set where there's certain things that I can move and send projectiles back the other way. But we're good. And it's redundancy. I have solar. And a lot of people, their solar is going to get damaged from this storm, from debris. Well, I got my solar panels out. Then I got the thickest, strongest plexiglass I could find. And then I got that film that they sell that you put over windows for storms. And I filmed both sides of it. And I got it a couple of inches bolted down above my solar to protect the solar panels. It will have to bust that plexiglass, which is really strong, and that I reinforce. It'll have to bust all that to get to my solar panels to cause any damage. And I do have a generator also if my solar was to go out. But we're ready. There's a lot of people that's afraid, of this hurricane. I've lived down here my whole life, and I've been through a lot worse than a hurricane. I'm just used to it. Really, as soon as it passes, I know ways to sneak onto the beach. I'm going surfing, and I'm not kidding. It's the only time down here that we got waves worth surfing. So after the hurricane passed, I'm going surfing. But I just find it ironic, that I got all these people, which I do not have room in this bunker. But I got all these people that made fun of me for living in a bunker. And now they want to come to my bunker to sit out the hurricane. And I would let them, but I don't have the room. But yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is the rabbits. So I'm tying down the rabbit cages. But other than that, we're good. I'm looking forward to all the rain. It cleanses the land. It makes all my garden grow good. It makes all the wild edibles grow good. And I'll probably be able to make me a good side hustle and do a lot of tree work and debris cleanup, because I will work for money. So, that'll be work, and I'll work local, and expand out and cut tree limbs and clear debris and all that. The first thing I'm going to do, though, if it gets bad, after it passes, is clear the road on where I live. That way our neighbors, can get in and out of here. That way if someone has a medical emergency, because if you're going to go out there, that's why a good pair of boots is so important. A pair of sneakers is not going to get it. In a natural catastrophe or a bomb, if anything happens, there's going to be debris everywhere. And a good pair of boots will save your feet. And, if you can't seek a medical attention, just a small cut that requires a few stitches, that could become a serious situation, if you don't have the sheer... Because I know people that they can't just sit still and let their wife or whoever sew them up. Me, little Miss Prepper, she sewed me up so much. It's no big deal, And I have a very high tolerance for pain. Fighting MMA and boxing, you can't do that stuff if you don't have a high threshold for pain. I'm one of the few people I know that actually enjoys getting punched in the face. I boxed, maybe I'll make a slideshow if I can ever figure it out, because I'm not a tech guy, but I've been in a I fights. I've boxed, I've MMA fought, and you're going to get punched in the face. So any of your MMA friends and your boxing friends, they have an inner strength. Because a lot of people, when they get punched in the face, they just shut down. Me, I'm just like, whoo! That's I have pronunciation problems. But anyway, that's exciting to me. So I'm going to make a video. A guy tried to rob me. So I got a good story about that. And even Grady Judd wrote up this big old thing about it. It's called Robbing the Robber, because, the guy tried to rob me. And that ended very badly for him. But I'll make a whole video about that. And the reason why it has prepping, it's prepping related because it's self-defense. Self-defense is a big part of prepping. And like this hurricane, I'm ready for it. There's no water. People are just not so smart. People go to the store at Walmart and all these and buy all this bottled water. When during a hurricane, man, there's so much water everywhere. All you need is like a Sawyer water filter that you can buy at Walmart that'll filter up to 100,000 gallons of water for like $25. So while everybody's fighting over these bottles of water, which drinking out of them plastic bottles raises a man's estrogen, and that's not good. But, instead of taking up all that room and all this and that there, just buy you a Sawyer water filter system. They're not that expensive. And I have learned to put a cloth over the end of it, and it makes it last longer. And if you live in a cold environment, don't let it freeze. It's fine to freeze if you've never used it, but if you use it and it freezes while there's water in it, it messes it up where it won't work right. And that's the last thing you want, is to drink bad water in a bad situation. So I just want to say, me and Little Miss Prepper, we're ready for this hurricane. Now there's a lot of people that was making fun of me for being a prepper, oh yeah. Well, we got everything we need. We're good. We live in a bunker. It's not going nowhere. And for the people that's going to deal with the hurricane, don't panic. Okay? If you're in a low-lying area, it's a storm surge. So get away from a low-lying area so you don't drown. Go to you a good block home, and you'll be fine. Just look around. You might want to do some tree cutting. You don't want a big ass tree to fall through the roof and get you. So now would be the time to get out there if you're able, and get to cutting them trees back away from your house. But if you're away from a low-lying area and you're in a good solid block home, you should be fine. What the real danger is the tornadoes that spin off from the hurricane. So what I'm going to do, if we get some real good winds and all that there, I'm going to go out there and video that. And as crazy as it sounds, in a hurricane, if you don't drown in the storm surge, so get your ass away from where the storm surge could come up and flood the place out, just put on a motorcycle helmet, or at least a bicycle helmet, because that's the second cause of death, is head trauma during a hurricane. So as silly as it sounds, wear a helmet. It'll protect your head. So we're ready. I know I'm rambling, I just want to put this out here. We're ready for this hurricane. I'm actually looking forward to it, because as soon as it goes by and the roads are clear enough, I'm going surfing. True story. And like I said, people make fun of me for living in a bunker. Now they want to come stay in my bunker. Imagine that. So that's the way it's going to be. People are going to make fun of you or ignore you for prepping. And then when times get bad, they're going to come begging, oh man, I know you're a prepper. I know you got food put back. I'm starving to death. Well, what you do with that situation, that's up to you. I'm not going to give you advice. I'm not going to tell you to turn people away. I'm not going to tell you to take people in. I will tell you, taking people in can become a dangerous situation, because you will be surprised how quickly people can turn into savages under stress. So you have to lay down, if you are going to take someone in, you have to, in writing, have rules. And if they break the rules, they're out. So with that, we're ready. We're looking forward to it. I'll video as much of it as I can. But don't be scared if you live down here. Just get out of the storm surge areas. Go to a good block home. And if a tornado or a limb falling through the roof don't get you, you'll be fine. Everybody's panicking and getting the hell out. I'm not going anywhere.